A figure from Slavic folklore, Koschei the Deathless was known for his main characteristic, his inability to die. What is more interesting about this figure, however, is the fact that his immortality was not foolproof, as a room for errors was left when casting a spell to protect himself from death. Although there are few records regarding his physical appearance, Koschei is often depicted as an old man riding on the back of an enchanted horse through the mountains of Russia. Known for his womanizing ways, he was a shapeshifter capable of turning into anything he preferred, but he had a proclivity for kidnapping his female victims in the form of a whirlwind tornado. The most important aspect of the mythical sorcerer was his absolute terror of death. This fear left him open to making mistakes, among which was the imperfect magical spell that was meant to keep him from danger. The origins around the tale of Koschei the Deathless can be traced back to Eastern Europe, where it's deeply rooted in Slavic folklore which has been passed down through generations. Koschei is thought to be a powerful sorcerer afraid of nothing except death itself, so he does everything possible to avoid it and achieve his immortal status by separating his soul from his body. He maintained his immortality by not just hiding his soul into various objects, but by placing it on the tip of a needle inside an egg, which itself is inside a duck inside a rabbit, then locked into a crystal chest buried beneath an ancient oak tree. Obviously, this made his soul quite difficult to find. Furthermore, he safeguarded his soul by ensuring that his animal vessels could get away. If the chest was ever found, dug up and opened, the dog would try to flee. And even if the dog was caught or killed, the rabbit would then try to run. According to the myth, possessing the infamous egg was enough to gain control over the powerful figure. It is only after reaching it that his life was truly endangered, as he would die if the needle within was destroyed, forcing 100 years of age down upon a man in a single instant. It is hard to study Russian folktales without encountering Koschei the Deathless. Ironically, the most prominent tale related to him has something to do with how he met his end, and that irony draws into his character. The tale, which is a fascinating one, begins with a young Ivan Tsarevich, the protagonist whose name seems to bear the literal meaning, son of the Tsar. So now we know Ivan is important. Following the death of his parents, Ivan saw his 3 sisters getting married to the first men who came across them. These suitors were wizards related to a certain type of birds. Within a year and feeling lonely, Ivan went off in search of his sisters when he realizes he misses them. Along his journey, he encountered the warrior princess Marya Morvna and wed her along the way. Soon after, Marya chose to go to war and left Ivan in charge of the castle where they live, warning him to never set foot into the dungeon, for there was a secret she had long kept locked away. But what do you expect? Human beings are curious creatures. Right after Marya set off for the battlefield, Ivan disobeyed and ventured into the dungeon where he met the sorcerer locked in place. Although he has never been fully explained, Marya had previously captured Koschei and left him to rot, but Ivan took pity on him when he asked for something to drink. Almost immediately after being provided with a dozen barrels of water, the decrepit old man's powers were fully restored, revealing the strong, powerful and immortal sorcerer. Empowered, Koschei broke free from the chains he had been bound by, declaring that he would make his jailer pay for what she has done, then vanished. Ivan then chases after the sorcerer to rescue his wife, only to be overcome by his opponent on his much faster horse. Twice the young man tried and twice he failed. On the third attempt, Ivan decided to capture the sorcerer instead, but unfortunately, this angered the old man, who proceeded to cut off his body, threw the pieces in a barrel, then tossed it into the ocean. However, his dismembered body was found and it was brought back to life by the wizards who married his sisters. Then, they told him to look for Baba Yaga, an infamous witch in the woods who just happens to have magical horses faster than Koschei's. The prince was instructed to retrieve one of them if he wanted to have a chance against the terrible sorcerer. Ivan leaves at once to find Baba Yaga. He encountered mythical creatures and fought darkness before coming across her abode. Despite its unusual appearance, the prince found it. He approaches the old witch asking for a horse, to which she responded that he must earn it. By remaining alive and completing a series of tasks, the young man successfully passed her test over the course of 3 days, then fled right away to rescue his wife once again. Traveling with an enchanted horse, Ivan found Koschei much quicker, saved Marya, then was able to slay the mighty sorcerer and properly burned his body. This is the death of Koschei the Deathless. Now, this is where the discrepancies in the mythical story appear. Koschei the Immortal was not killed using his egg as it was meant to be, thereby implying that since Ivan did not come by it, he was not aware of the existence of such a thing, or he just couldn't find it, for he was in a rush to save his wife. Regardless of the version, Koschei, who had tried so hard to be invincible, was indeed considered dead by the end of every telling of the tale. Ivan Tsarevich and Marya Morvna lived happily ever after, and his relationship with his sisters was back the way it used to be. The legend of Koschei the Deathless is a captivating tale that explores themes of immortality, bravery, and the battle between good and evil. This mythical story follows Ivan Tsarevich in his quest to rescue his beloved Marya from the clutches of the wicked sorcerer. With its cultural significance and variations, Koschei the Deathless has captured the imaginations of audiences across different parts of the world. From its origins in Slavic folklore to popular adaptations in movies and literature, Koschei holds an immense cultural significance in Slavic traditions. The tale serves as a reflection of the values, beliefs, and mythical traditions of Eastern European cultures, and the different versions can be found throughout many countries, each adding their own interpretations. So whether it's Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, or other Slavic nations, the legend of Koschei the Deathless continues to captivate people while showcasing the richness of this culture. Thank you for watching this video on Koschei, the mythical sorcerer of Slavic folklore. Hope to see you next time for another episode. And as always, stay curious.